South Africa believed the chapter had closed. The sentencing had been delivered. The courtroom had emptied. The headlines had moved on. But now, new legal maneuvers suggest the battle is far from over, and the consequences could ripple far beyond one prison cell. The case surrounding Michael Sandlana has once again moved back into the legal spotlight. While his conviction initially appeared to bring clarity, fresh developments inside the courts are reshaping the political conversation across the country. What seemed settled is now being tested, and the implications reach deep into South Africa's justice system, political institutions, and public trust. Michael Sandlana's imprisonment followed a legal process that drew national attention. Court proceedings examined allegations that, according to official filings and court records, involved serious misconduct claims. After months of testimony and legal argument, the court handed down its ruling, and Sandlana was taken into custody. However, recent filings suggest that his legal team is pursuing further remedies. According to court sources, applications related to procedural concerns and potential appeals have reintroduced the matter into judicial review. These developments have not overturned the original ruling, but they have reopened debate about the strength of the prosecution's case and the broader context in which it unfolded. In South Africa's constitutional democracy, the right to appeal is not unusual. It is a core feature of the system, enshrined under the legal framework governed by the Constitutional Court of South Africa and the broader judiciary. Appeals do not imply innocence or guilt, they signal that legal avenues remain available for scrutiny and reconsideration. What makes this situation particularly significant is the political environment surrounding it. The case unfolded during a period of intense scrutiny over accountability within major political institutions, including the African National Congress. Although Sandlana's legal matter is formally separate from party structures, public discourse has repeatedly linked the case to broader concerns about governance and institutional integrity. Political analysts suggest that renewed court attention could reignite debates about how justice is administered in high-profile cases. Supporters of Sandlana argue that continued legal challenges demonstrate confidence in procedural fairness. Critics contend that the ongoing court drama prolongs uncertainty and risks undermining public trust. Public reaction has been sharply divided. In urban centers such as Johannesburg and Cape Town, civic organizations have issued measured statements emphasizing the importance of judicial independence. Social media conversations reflect both skepticism and cautious optimism, revealing a country grappling with complex questions about justice, power, and transparency. Inside the prison system, the implications are equally significant. As long as appeals or procedural reviews remain active, Sandlana's legal status carries uncertainty. While he continues serving his sentence under standard correctional supervision, potential outcomes could include sentence adjustments, retrials, or confirmation of the original verdict. None of these outcomes are guaranteed, but each carries weight. Correctional authorities have maintained that Sandlana's incarceration follows established protocols under the Department of Correctional Services. According to official guidelines, inmates pursuing appeals do not receive special treatment solely based on legal proceedings. However, high-profile cases often attract increased media attention, which can indirectly influence the broader narrative. Institutionally, this renewed legal phase underscores the strength and pressure of South Africa's judicial system. Courts must balance public scrutiny with strict adherence to constitutional standards. Legal experts note that appellate courts focus on procedural integrity, interpretation of law, and fairness of trial conduct. They do not rehear cases for political convenience, they assess whether justice was applied correctly. The political consequences are more nuanced. Opposition figures have referenced the case as an example of either accountability in action or alleged systemic inconsistency, depending on perspective. Within Parliament, debates about judicial reform and prosecutorial independence have resurfaced, though no formal legislative changes have yet been directly tied to this specific matter. Observers also point to timing. The renewed legal momentum arrives at a sensitive period for South African politics, where public confidence in institutions remains a central issue. Any high-profile case that re-enters the courts naturally amplifies scrutiny. For Sandlana personally, the stakes are clear. An unsuccessful appeal would solidify the court's original findings and likely close the remaining legal doors. A successful procedural challenge, however limited, could alter the legal landscape either through sentence reconsideration or further judicial review. Yet the broader issue extends beyond one individual. South Africa's democracy rests heavily on perceptions of fairness and institutional resilience. When controversial cases resurface, they test not only the accused but the structures designed to deliver justice. Legal scholars emphasize that appeals are part of due process, not a sign of collapse. The ability to challenge rulings is foundational to constitutional governance. At the same time, prolonged litigation can strain public patience, especially when cases carry political overtones. The media environment adds another layer. Headlines often amplify tension, while court documents move methodically through formal channels. The gap between public perception and legal reality can widen quickly. Responsible reporting becomes critical in maintaining clarity. What happens next depends on judicial timelines. Appellate courts may take weeks or months to review filings, evaluate arguments, and issue determinations. Until then, uncertainty remains. For South Africa, this moment reinforces a defining principle: no case exists in isolation. Legal decisions influence political narratives, and political narratives influence public trust. Sandlana's continued legal battle illustrates how intertwined those dynamics have become. The court drama is not over. The gavel may have fallen once, but the echo continues. In a country shaped by its constitutional commitments, every legal reconsideration becomes a measure of institutional strength. As South Africans watch closely, one question remains at the forefront: will the next ruling reaffirm the finality of justice, or redefine it?